We chatted with Nick Peterson, this time to chat live from La Crosse, episode 23. We hope the Orb likes this. What is it? We talk about the cast, past online shows, his affinity for writing funny music, the good cause associated with the show, what's next, and some news on a celebrity guest host at an upcoming show. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
Hello, my name is Lucifer. Call me Lou, yeah, I don't care. I will be overseeing all your torture and despair. So let me show you round. There's a fire and a tour. And now the exciting part, how your torture is procured.
So Nick, we talked to you about 100 podcasts ago. So I imagine, you got some new stuff going on. What's happening?
Well, Live from La Crosse has finally started kicking back into action after about 2 years of being inactive in a live sense. We've done some virtual sketch comedy shows to bide our time, and we did some restructuring. But on March 5th, Saturday at the Main, we have a show called We Hope the Orb Likes Us. It's our 23rd episode, but our first episode back in almost 2.5 years.
So where does that title come from? What does that even mean?
It's a reference to one of the sketches we did. We did write this sketch. Taylor Godin wrote the sketch before this whole the orb meme became very popular. Like just this last December or January, we had named the show when we were supposed to have it back in October before the first delay due to COVID. But since then, the popular "All Hail the Celestial Orb" meme became very popular. It is a reference to one of our most favorite and goofy and completely ridiculous sketches we're going to do in this show.
Getting back from doing the online thing and just talking about the past couple years with COVID, do you have the same cast, or has it been switched up a little bit, or what's happening with the people putting on the show?
The same cast, but the one big change we made was we've done a bit of reorganizing, and people probably won't notice this watching a live show, but it's interesting to us. We've done a bit of reorganizing about our approach to developing a show. In the past, it was more like we had our writers writing things, we had our performers performing things, we had our singers singing things, and so on, our directors directing things. But now it's become more of a more hands makes lighter weight situation where everyone has a hand in writing, everyone has a hand in performing, and just making it more of a collaborative process instead of, at first our structure was more based on Saturday Night Live, and where you kind of had teams of pockets of people doing different things. And now it is more of a classic sketch comedy sense of like, no, we're all going to get in a room together. Every decision is made together. Every joke is rehearsed and talked about as a group. And it's, so the feeling that has been the biggest change. And we're kind of hoping that even though writing wise, it's not going to change like the structure of the show really, that the feeling of camaraderie and unity as a group will shine on stage a bit more. More people will have opportunities to lead sketches or sing songs and do different things.
For practicing, are you actually, the main event center, it's kind of like a brand new space now. Are you actually practicing there? Or have you done that live performance in there yet, or practice or whatever?
We have not. This will be our first performance at the Main. We're really excited about this new venue. Matt Malum has done such a fantastic job with that place. We're really excited to work with them. We're hoping to get in there and play with this space, using this show really as a chipping off the rust from 2 years of non-live performing. We've done some comedy since then, but we're excited to try out this space. So this show, though it is a 2-year polished show, we've been working on this one for a long time. We're also walking into a new venue and trying out, like, with every venue you go to, there's different soundboards and tech people, and the stage has a different structure, and entrances and exits are a little different. So this show is a bit about us kind of playing in the space and getting comfortable with it because it's a new place. That said, we've been there several times, working with Matt, talking with him, and we couldn't be more excited, not just for our group performing in this space, but what the potential that this space has and what he's already bringing to La Crosse every weekend.
Talking the past here, the few that you did online were just hilarious, in the sense of someone who doesn't, for whatever reason, I just never came out for Live from La Crosse, but seeing online, it was just, well produced and just hilarious.
Thank you.
I don't know if you felt that, or if you think you found a different audience or new audience that may be coming to the shows.
I really hope so. The motivation wasn't so much to grow the audience. The motivation at the time, because I know a lot of us are trying to forget it, but early COVID, the feeling was, oh my God, this is never going to end. So the first show we did, was in May of 2020. We're only 2 months into this with no end in sight. And the feeling was, at that point, we were feeling about as bad as we possibly could. Everyone was really down. Like, it's the first step of this marathon. So the first show was kind of hastily thrown together, and the learning curve. So some of the video was a little off and some of the audio didn't quite sync up and things, but we had some really good quality product. And we used the learning from that show to build a second virtual show that we put up in December of 2020. And that show, I feel, stands up to any online virtual sketch comedy that you're going to see. I mean, not only we were able to learn how to do some basic animation, we came up with a brand new title sequence and worked on transitions. And it's just, the avenue of comedy in video sketch is a bit different avenue than live performance, because you can mess with your comedic timing a bit. You can do multiple takes and then pick the perfect one. And then we started messing with some green screen work. So elements of it, we're hoping that will bleed into this show and become part of our live show. That said, we are called Live from La Crosse. We don't want to like roll out the TV and say, okay, people, you paid for this. Here's the video we did. We're going to incorporate elements of some of the video work and the new skills that we've learned, but it's still going to be a live show.
Those news components of that show are just laugh out loud. Like, I was just amazed at the quality of the product you were putting out there.
Thank you.
You also write music too. So I believe there's going to be some music coming on this show as well.
Yep. Yeah, we always try to have a musical number or two. We're very musical based. I mean, we think of comedy, like obviously we have a lot of stand-up comics in our group, but we also have a lot of theater people as well. And even our stand-up comedians, and basically all of our group, have a strong affinity for just the love of music and trying to bridge the comedy elements in music. And what we try to do is, like, one of the staples of our show is ending the night on a big musical number of some sort. This show, we wrote a song, created one that kind of, we're thinking, encapsulates how the last 2 years have felt, but also we're hoping will be like a relief of, we're hoping that we're kind of coming out of the last 2 years and like starting new, and things are opening back up and mandates are being lifted, that this song, which is called Personal Hell, will resonate with people in a different way, and they'll find the irony and the comedy at a different level.
This is your own personal hell. It's filled with ex-girlfriends. It's waiting for a concert, but the sound check never ends. It's using single ply every time you take a dump. You're the dumbest guy in the room, aka your Eric Trump.
That being said, though, the show isn't going to be an hour of COVID jokes. As a matter of fact, we don't even reference COVID at all in it. It's really about like escaping that conversation for the most part, even though I've been talking about it pretty much the whole time here. But it's about, we want people to come out and for a little bit just forget about everything that's going on for once, and be able to go out and enjoy some live comedy.
Noticing the Maine also, it seems like they have a real avenue for raising money too. So It looks like $5 every ticket purchased will be donated to Good Fight Community Center. Did you guys have a choice in that, or did Matt kick down that idea?
When we first approached Matt, he was still it was still very early in the stages of the Maine opening up. I don't even think they had their first event when we started meeting with him. So a lot of it was new, but one of his main motivations for doing this has been putting good things back into the community. Obviously, our show, we strongly feel and believe, is one of those elements of putting good things in the community. But he also wants to find ways to like branch outside of the performance and arts, and be able to use our platform to help other groups in mind. So tickets are $15, but for every ticket that we sell, $5 of each ticket goes to the Good Fight. It's a youth center for at-risk teens, I believe. It was Matt's idea. Basically, the only caveat was he didn't say what charitable organization was. He just said, I would like you to have some type of charitable donation to some local organization. And one of our managers, Bobby Begelke, came back with the Good Fight as a organization our group really connected with, and was one that we all thought, yes, that's what we want to support with our monies.
So episode 23, we hope the orb likes this, Saturday, March 5th. You also referenced there, says here at the bottom, I'm on the Facebook event page, about a celebrity guest, or you're going to announce it there, or what's celebrity guest host coming in May?
We are. That's a big announcement. Well, for this show, because we're kind of feeling out the space and we haven't been performing in a while, this show is a bit of chipping off the rust, like I said, but we recognize that we want to get people out to the show and enjoy it with us. And we realize it's been a long time since we've been on stage, and we're hoping people haven't forgotten about us. So we want to have an incentive for people. So we have a show on May 7th. And what we've done is we've hired a celebrity guest host to come and guest host our show. Now, 2 years ago, we had a guy named Eric Stolahansky. He was the Super Troopers actor and Beer Fest and with the Broken Lizard comedy group. He's got a new movie coming out on Hulu this summer with the Broken Lizard group. But we have another very big name who's been in, if you've seen any 80s like coming of age kid comedy or movie, you know who this actor is. So what we're going to do is at the end of the show, we are going to announce who this person is. And if you are at the show, we're going to give you first dibs on buying tickets to that show, because we're hoping, like the Eric Stolahansky show, this show is going to sell out really, really quickly. And we want to give the people who have been following, who have been faithful to us, that first opportunity to get tickets to the show. But this is a really big name. And I honestly can't believe we got this guy. We're super excited.
Sweet. So speaking of tickets, where can people pick them up? Where's the best avenue to check those out?
The best avenue is unfortunately using Facebook still. We have I know we're going to get, all right. We have a Facebook event put up, episode 23. We hope the orb likes us. If you follow any of our cast members or the group on Facebook, that's the best way to do it. But on there is a link to Brown Paper Tickets. That's the online selling resource that we use, but tickets will be available at the door. I can almost guarantee if you show up the day of the show, you can get tickets at the door, $15. But if you want to get them in advance, make sure you got a seat. Brown Paper Tickets is what we're using for online ticket sales, using our Facebook event page.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.